What is going on, Movie Meals? We are here to talk about the Joker. That's my Joker laugh. Excuse my crazy hair. Get over it.
It's for his Joker impersonation.
Yeah. We're here for the non-spoiler review. So, Kyle, let's just get into it.
All right.
What are your thoughts on the Joker?
Right.
Positives.
Are you done? Okay, now.
No,
Here I go.
I'm not.
Now it's now it's my turn. To start with, Joaquin Phoenix kills it. I mean, he's just a terrific actor, one of the best in the biz, and obviously he's going to kill in just about any role he does. But here he really does do a great portrayal of Joker and just a great overall performance. One of the best I probably have seen this year. The title of the movie is Joker, clearly, but it doesn't feel like he's trying to become someone else's version of Joker. He's trying to be a version of Joker that translates into maybe possible other movies or something like that. It doesn't feel like that. It really feels like he's really trying to center on just this character piece about the character Joker, or how this version of the character of Joker became to be. And I think he really does a great job of that. I think he does a great job of making us understand how flawed and how hard this character's life and his mannerisms, and why he becomes the person that he ends up becoming from. And I think he does a really great job at portraying the character well and doing that character justice, but as well as making his own version of it make sense and make us believe or buy into what he's trying to show for this type of character. Todd Phillips, who's usually known for comedies, does a great job in this. I know he's done dramas in the past, I think that War Dogs movie with Jonah Hill he did before, but he really does show that he does have some great directing chops. I think it looks beautiful to watch. I think he does a great job at setting up a lot of great memorable scenes that are in this movie, a lot of stuff that can be pretty hard to watch at some points, but I think it is really well worth to watch, especially when Todd Phillips does a great job at directing Joaquin Phoenix for this type of role.
Yeah, my biggest positive has got to be Joaquin. That's what it is. It's an Oscar caliber performance. It's incredible. I don't know about winning, but I think it's up there. He immerses himself in this role. It's extremely realistic. I get why it's got backlash now after seeing it. It is extremely realistic compared to this crazy criminal mastermind we see in other iterations of the Joker. But it's an incredible performance. I loved it. He really just it's just him. It's really, the movie is him, and it's insane. And I really liked it. Todd Phillips, I do think, does a really good job. I've been seeing a lot of he's a top nomination contender too. I actually disagree with that. I don't think his direction was that incredible, but I think it was really good. I like War Dogs as well, so I think he's definitely put a staple on that he is a dramatic director. I think he did a really good job. I just don't know if it's an Oscar caliber performance one outside of just his performance. But his performance is next level, and I adored the crap out of it. It was well, I don't know if I adored it, but it was really good.
No, maybe the wrong choice of words.
All right, what are your negatives?
I think the real negative here might come down to some of the writing, or to how some of the storylines in this movie kind of go along with Joaquin's performance. Because Joaquin kills it no matter what the writing is, or how the scene is written out for the character. He kills it no matter what. There's just some moments within the writing that could feel like it's a bit too on the nose for some people. I didn't find it to be as too on the nose as I've heard from many other critics saying that it is. I think for some of the writing, and how they constructed the writing, does make sense, though I can see the criticisms from thinking that it might be a little bit too on the nose, so some people might not like that as much. And I think when it comes to the writing standards, it doesn't quite do a good job. It does a good job at helping Joaquin nail the character, but from an outside scope, from the outside scopes of how his actions affect the rest of Gotham, I don't think that was done quite as well as what the movie was trying to go for. I think they needed to work on making that a bit more concrete as maybe just what they did in this movie. I just don't think that really worked. And I'm not too sure if the movie is trying to send a message about the well-being of mental illnesses, or if they're trying to make a point, or trying to maybe not make a solution anyway, but if that was the goal they were trying for. I don't think it quite worked as well as some people may have been hoping for. But again, I don't quite know if the writing was trying to do that, or if Todd Phillips himself was trying to make a movie that was about that, or if he was just trying to make a movie about a flawed character such as the Joker, and how someone could become someone like the Joker. I'm not too positive, but if that was what they were trying to go for, I don't think they quite made the mark when it comes to the writing.
Yeah, my biggest negative is the script. I think it's a weak script. I remember I had heard that from big DC critics on some podcasts and things who said they had read the script and they hated the script. I think it was a really weak script elevated by an all-time great performance. I think the script was, he needs to say this, but because Joaquin is so good, like he just elevated that. I think it was a very weak script. I do want to add real quick in the positives. I really liked the perspective of Gotham. I think they nailed Gotham and the divide between the rich and the poor, and I really loved the Thomas Wayne stuff. I think that was done really well.
That was probably part of my negatives for when I was mentioning Gotham, so that's interesting. But anyway, keep going.
I think we finally get a chance to see the real divide and how the Joker is able to manipulate the criminal underworld. Because I think we really got to see that. I don't think we've really seen that outside of just maybe The Dark Knight. And this time I really, really liked it. But yeah, my other negatives is because of it's a weak script. You do end up rooting for him for a little bit in the movie, I think, for a while, and then he suddenly just goes off the deep end, and you're like, no, okay, this is a mentally, struggling person and all this stuff. And then once you stop, the movie drags a little bit. It becomes a little predictable because it's a weaker script. There are a few twists that work, and there are a few that don't. And the ones that work, I really like. The ones that didn't work, it was just predictable and easy to know that they were coming. But it does drag because eventually you lose something to root for, so you're just watching chaos, and I think that does drag a little bit, and it makes the movie feel long. So those are my big negatives. Overall, though, I really did like the movie quite a bit. I've liked it more that I've thought about it because of how good his performance is. But I do think it's a very weak script, as well as, and yeah, everything else. So any final thoughts?
Just a quick message, a little bit more of a serious note. There's been a lot of controversy about this movie. Some warranted, some maybe a little bit unnecessary. But regardless of that, just be safe out there. Just try and enjoy the movie. If you feel like it might be triggering in any way, shape, or form, maybe don't go and see it just for your own safety.
It is incredibly realistic.
Yeah.
It's a little less the criminal mastermind agent of chaos kind of Joker, and more of like, I think you do see that Joker, and especially at the end, but it definitely is like some people like a guy can do this. Sometimes you watch you watch some supervillains and you're he is kind of like that, his performance. But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. It's scary out there. Some theaters have already not shown the movie. Yeah. More recently, there's been some who weren't going to show it in the first place. I just read about one this morning that is not showing the movie. So
yeah, which is unfortunate, but times we live in, sometimes you have to take those measures. But regardless, just be safe. Reach out to people in case if they need any sort of help. And just be nice. Just be a nice person and enjoy movies.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, remember to like, subscribe, share, and thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.
My mom didn't watch this movie.